What's good, people? Today is going to be a very special video. I'm back at my old university, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. We're about to hit this upper body workout, and then afterwards, tonight I'm going to take you guys to my favorite post-workout spot. So with that said, let's get to the first exercise. I'm pretty strong today. You might be wondering, Tyler, what are you doing here right now? Well, I was invited by Reach and Build Illinois to be a part of a panel group talking about the creator economy / just content creation in general.
What a lot of people don't know is I was posting on YouTube for an entire year before I even did a lot of doing short form content.
And honestly, as the first panel I've ever done, I think it went pretty well. It was actually really fun. I'd love to do more. Whew. First exercise done. Let's move on to the second exercise. Okay. Now, normally I like to do antagonistic supersets, so I would actually stringing together that incline dumbbell bench we did last with its lat pull down, since we're involving opposite muscle groups. But for the sake of this workout, since I'm only doing like one set, there's really no point to do the superset together. But as a good tip, if you're programming an upper lower split, I like using the antagonistic supersets to make the workout overall more efficient. And also, I think it's an easy way to make sure like you're getting a balanced amount of volume per muscle group, right? Because if you're stringing together the exact opposite muscle group, let's say chest and then back, it's easy to pair it together and be like, okay, those are my chest and back exercises. And then let's say tricep, bicep, that's another good antagonistic superset pair. So quick tip there, let's get on our working set. All right, so I'm actually also gonna take off this ring so I can get as good of a grip as I possibly can on this set. Now, ideally I would have lifting straps, but I don't like how cumbersome putting on lifting straps is, in my opinion. But to be honest, I usually don't use it, which is kind of ironic because a lot of people consider me like, oh, optimal lifting guy, right? So. So I'm fasted right now. I didn't eat a single thing. I don't recommend it if you're trying to like optimize your performance, but it's kind of happened this way this morning. Had a big dinner last night. Plus, in general, I noticed if I'm fasted, I tend to look better when I'm posing. So kind of a trade-off there. Either I look good for the videos or I keep my strength up. All right, so we're training triceps next. Now, if you haven't tried this yet, guys, ditch the rope and perform your tricep exercises unilaterally. Actually, in my opinion, it makes a world of difference. It's so much more comfortable on your shoulder. Plus, it's easier not to cheat, in my opinion. Now, there's many ways to do this, right? You can literally mimic a regular standing tricep push down like this. Some people like doing a cross-body style like this, which I really like, especially if you're trying to bicep long head. But something I've also been experimenting with lately is known as a Carter extension. So some people go overboard and they use like a cuff to even take your grip out of the movement, but I think if you're taking a hook grip is good enough. But what I'm doing here is I'm basically gonna rest my upper arm on the actual cable tower. And what this does is stabilize my shoulder joint so that it prevents me from trying to move my shoulder, especially as I approach failure, right? Because a lot of people, they tend to cheat, bring their shoulder up on the way up, and kind of go like this and do almost like a lat pull over movement, or they, put their body weight into it and start like pressing down like that, right? But with this Carter extension, because I'm keeping the upper arm stabilized, I'm just thinking about having this upper arm stay on the cable tower at all times. It's much easier not to cheat like this. Now, one thing I will say is like, I feel like you do need pretty good shoulder mobility, because if you're putting your arm down here, it can kind of get in the way of the working arm, right? Like your hand's kind of in the way here, it's a little weird. So what I like to do is have my arm come up overhead over here, and now I got nothing distracting me on that working arm side. But if your shoulder mobility isn't the best, perhaps it's inspiration to get a little bit more mobile there. And just to show a little bit of credentials, I'll take the pump cover off for this side. Was good. You see, I feel like when exercise is super stable, that last rep when you're trying to hit failure where a lot can go wrong. A lot of people tend to cheat. If I was using a rope, I probably would be like pressing down like that. Well, it minimizes the likelihood of that actually happening, so you can better focus on really just straightening the elbow. My left side is so much stronger than my right side. Now, I usually start with my weaker side and then match the number of reps I can get on my weaker side with the stronger one. But I saw a really good point that Eugene Till made. He was like, well, if I match the same amount of reps on my weaker side with my stronger side, I'm kind of like sandbagging the effort on my stronger side, right? So instead, what he does is he starts with the stronger side, does a weaker side, and then takes like a 5 to 10 second rest, and then completes the deficit on that weaker side. So adding a few more reps on the right. So I think I got like 1 extra on my left, so let me just do 1 more rep on my stronger side. I might as well just take it all the way to failure again. Biceps, let's go. All right, so the next exercise we have is a standing bicep curl with a straight bar. Now, you might be wondering, Tyler, why aren't you doing a length and focus bicep exercise if your goal is to maximize biceps growth? Well, we will get to the length and focus exercise later. You see, generally speaking, length and focus exercises tend to incur more fatigue than short and focus ones. Meaning, let's say I start out with the preacher curl where it's hardest at the bottom part. If I do the preacher curl first and then move on to something like this later in the workout, chances are my biceps will be more fatigued and thus hindering my performance here rather than vice versa. But also, the fact of the matter is, depending on the day, I will just straight out do a length and focus bicep exercise to begin with. In this situation where I'm going to be doing multiple bicep exercises, I'd rather start with the mid-range and short and focus one first. So that's the rationale there. Ooh, GG. All right, so we made it down to the basement. We're waiting for a piece of equipment right now, but the crazy thing is back when I first came here, right? All the gym equipment was downstairs in the basement. So the area we were at earlier, that used to be a basketball court. There were like no weights there, but during the whole like 2020 stuff that was going on, basically migrated everything to the basketball court because there's better ventilation there. I guess they just stuck with it. But being down here specifically, super nostalgic. This row over here used to be all benches. Like benches, squat racks, just go all down the line all the way over here. The only thing is you had to wait like 15 minutes to get a bench. Yeah, this is a really nice pec fly. All right, now we gotta make our way back up to the main end of the gym because we're gonna be doing some rows. Let me show them this whole like area. So imagine the first stage, right? You've been working out for 3 years in the basement, and then one day you just come up, new school season starts, and you're like, wait, the gym's up here now. It's kind of fun. Only bad thing is there's no mirrors up here, which it's kind of annoying, but other than that, it's much better in my opinion. Ooh, okay. All right, moving on to arms. All right, so like I said earlier with the tricep push down, it goes for the overhead tricep extension as well. I feel like doing this unilaterally, it feels so much better. So let me show you how I like to set it up. So this is working arm, right side. And then match the amount of reps I did with my stronger side with my weaker side. So I need to do 3 more. All right, bicep, let's go. Man, I wish my gym had 37.5s. I feel like 35 is a little light, 40 is like way too heavy. Ooh, all right. And that was the upper body workout for the day at University of Illinois. Now it is time to get some post-workout. See y'all there. All right, people, well, this is pretty much where it all started for me on YouTube. Back around first week in January 2019, 6 years ago now, I made the big choice to start uploading weekly on YouTube food vlogs. Who would have thought? That first video I made was here at Cravings. So we're back here. I'm gonna show y'all my favorite dish, quite possibly in all of Illinois. That's kind of like a nostalgic full circle moment for me. Let's go inside. The best part is chrysanthemum tea is free. It actually tastes really good. Remember in the middle of winter I would come here, and one of the best parts was literally just me getting this chrysanthemum tea. And it would be too hot, so I always pull a water in it, just so it's drinkable. All right. So you see that seat all the way back there in the corner? 6 years ago, I made my first video sitting right there eating orange chicken. Kind of crazy. This place has not changed. Frankie, are you ready to eat? Oh. All right, so what we got here is a crispy chicken slice, which is basically, imagine orange chicken, but if they used less breading, less sugar, and leaner meat. And it comes with veggies. So anytime I was like craving orange chicken specifically, but I want to eat somewhat clean, get some greens in, I would get this crispy chicken slice. But then here, this hot and spicy diced chicken, oh, I literally cannot find this anywhere else. This is probably like my favorite dish of all time. Not even gonna lie, I used to eat this probably like 3 times per week, bro. Okay, without further ado, just take a bite. Damn, man, it's so nostalgic. And now this. And the onion's so good here. Let me get a piece of onion. And then what I also used to do, I'll get sriracha. I'll be like, Okay. So me and Frankie are gonna kill this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I think it's super cool, very nostalgic to be back here at U of I. And for those that first knew me for short form content, I kind of wanted to show you where I began. But for the small group of y'all that have been watching me since my food vlogs at U of I want to give this little full circle moment for y'all and just say thank you guys so much for the support over the years. It's been life-changing. We're going to be back to the normal fitness content next week. So hit subscribe to Level Your Physique. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.